Hey guys, Cronus Falls here, and today I'm doing an account rework for Kishzez here, and basically what he has asked me to come in here to do today is first of all to have a look at his arena team. So we're going to be fixing this up in order to help him farm medals. That's the main thing he's looking for. So it looks like right now he is running Tyrant, Stag, Nethril, and Mausoleum Mage, which not great, but not the worst thing in the world. So we'll definitely be taking a look at that. And then he actually also asked me to take a look at his Nightmare Clan boss. So Arena is the main focus here, but he said he can typically 3-key on the Spirit and Void affinities, but he has a little bit more trouble on the Force and Magic affinities. So he has asked me to see if I can go ahead and move that forward for him. I've had a look at his champions here. And while he does have some very good champions, I think it's going to be a little tough in order to move him up on the clan boss. One of the reasons being he doesn't have a main attack down champion leveled, so he does have a Padma here, and I think she would definitely... Actually, he has a Tayrell too. So Tayrell is definitely something that he needs to invest in, work on. He's definitely going to be the next thing that needs to come up for the clan boss team. So we can keep that in mind. Sandlash would also be a really good call, I think. Basically, what he's running right now, if we go in, I think he's... Let's go ahead and go here. So he's currently running Septimus, Tyrant, Mausoleum Mage, Nethril, and Stag Knight. And so this team is kind of strange in that it doesn't have a speed booster, first of all, so it's not a counterattack team, but also doesn't have a speed booster. It has Nethril as the main poison damage, which Nethril is decent on a counterattack team or if you manual him, but on auto, he's not great as a poisoner. You got Septimus extending. Septimus isn't the best extender in the world, so we may want to do something a little bit different with that. Mausoleum Mage is good for blocking the stun on a counterattack team, but not the best on a speed team, so we probably don't want him in there either. Tyrant is amazing for clan boss, so he is going to stay. Stag is okay. I think Tayrell would be a better option though, more consistent attack down, especially against other affinities. The main thing with Stag Knight that can cause problems is, first of all, if he's not running fast enough. So in this team, he's probably not running fast enough to keep attack down on all the time. And that's why the Septimus has to come in there to try to extend it. And then on top of that, if it gets resisted, he has to wait 3 turns to apply it again, whereas other champions don't. So I definitely think Tayrell needs to come in here. Let's see, what else? We don't have a counterattack champion, like I said. Warlim's actually kind of decent, but I don't think the best option here. Apothecary is definitely going to be coming in for us. He's probably going to be placing Mausoleum Mage. We do have a Frozen Banshee as well. She should really replace Nethril. Septimus I don't think belongs. Unfortunately, he can be interesting in some very high-end teams, but this isn't going to be the place for him. So let's go ahead and take a look at his gear first of all. And that will kind of inform us on what we have to work with. Like I said, I am making Arena the priority, so that's going to be our first order of business as we go for the re-gearing. Let's just go ahead and take a look first of all for any flat stats in these bottom pieces. It's got some flat boots. Those are not good. Those have to go. This flat chest is no good as well. Both of those are going to have to go right now. They just don't have any place in this account really. We do have some good glyphs, so that's very nice. Alrighty, so now that we've got that out of the way, we don't have any bomb champions we are working on, so let's go ahead and take a look for attack percent gloves. He doesn't have a lot, which is good. We'll probably keep those ones and get rid of all the rest, just in case he pulls like a Lord Shazar or something. He can go ahead and keep those. They've got good speed and some crit rate, so not bad at all. And now I'm going to do a more in-depth cleanse for him, so that's obviously going to take a while, so I'm going to go ahead and cut right here, and we will come back in after the cleanse. Alrighty, so we are coming up on the end of the cleanse here, and we have 274 items that need to go. That's going to be almost 9 million more silver for me to work with. And to give you an idea, these are the kinds of pieces that we're talking about. Yeah, it's divine speed and 5-star, but just no redeeming qualities here. HP percent isn't like a top rate stat, and the rest are no good, so we're gonna get rid of that. Same thing here. That's the kind of stuff all through the account we've been looking at. So those are all going to have to go, but on the bright side, that is a lot more silver to work with. So now we are looking at 34 million. So I can really do a lot with gearing with that. There is still a lot of gear to work with, over 500 pieces if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, oh, 4 actually, so 421. I should have sold one more, darn. But so I'm going to get to work here, work on the arena team, and then once we are done with that, we will move on to clan boss. Alrighty, so we are done with the gearing for the arena team, and I'm sure if you keep up with all of the current arena trends, you will know about the blender comp. So basically the idea is you bring in an Arbiter, a Lanicus, a Skull Crown, and a Senesha. The Arbiter goes ahead and turn meter boost for you, and then the Lanicus comes in and does her ally attack, and then the Skull Crown and Senesha just wipe everyone. We are going to be doing a modified version of that. So Skull Crown is going to be coming in as our speed lead. She has been built very well here. He did not have any attack banners, so we are going to want one of those down the line for both him and Senesha, in order for both her and Senesha to make them do more damage. But for the time being, her build is already very good. So let's take a look here. She is at 28k HP, 4800 attack, only 112 speed, and so the idea here is that she will just come in and have the ally attack come off, so she doesn't need to actually have the speed to go. 100% crit rate, 224% crit damage, and only 133 accuracy, so she's really not going to be landing that weaken. She's just in there to do hella damage. She's also coming into Giant Slayer, or Helm Smasher down here rather. For the masteries, we've got her in Whirlwind of Death, basically like Ruthless Ambush to do more damage. I had to decide between Shield Breaker and Heart of Glory. Heart of Glory would make her do a little bit more damage, but at the same time, if they do have shields, it's a big problem, so I decided to go with Shield Breaker. So those are going to be the masteries there. Seneshas are basically the same. Let's take a look at her build. So again, no attack banner. She is not as strong just because her base attack is so low, only 876. But she's at about 30k HP, 3000 attack, 122 speed, 104 crit rate, 180% crit damage. So she should be able to pull out some decent hits. Definitely not as hard as Skull Crown, but you would not expect her to. Our Catacomb Counselor here, he is coming in. He's just got mixed gear. I'm just trying to get him within 30% of our turn meter booster. So obviously his gear needs a lot of work still, but I did want to save some silver, so let's look here. He's at 27k HP. Basically what matters here is the 212 speed. As long as he can get in there and do his Army of Death, teams up with 3 random allies to attack a single enemy, so that's going to be all of our allies. The allies joining the attack will use their default skills. So he's going to be coming in there to do that instead of Lanicus. And then in the vault, I actually found a Seeker here. So the cool thing about Seeker is his base speed, 103, does not change at all, no matter how much you ascend him or anything like that. So basically I built him up as fast as he could go. He's at 232 speed, which the unfortunate thing about that is that was basically the best speed gear in the account. So 232 is as fast as I can get him, and with the blender comp you really want to be fast. So it's a little bit of a crapshoot whether or not we're actually going to be able to get a high win rate with this. We might have to choose our battles until we can get some better speed on this guy as well as the Catacomb Counselor. But for the moment, Catacomb Counselor is at 212 and Seeker is at 232. So we should be able to not get cut in on at all. We can't fight Torments, obviously. And we have to go first. That's just kind of what it comes down to. I may go back in once we're done and fix up Catacomb Counselor's build a little bit just to make him more survivable in case we don't go first. But let's just go ahead and give it an initial test. I gotta check the sparring pit here. Alrighty, so we come into arena here. Let's see, so we've got a Valk here, Shiramani. So Shiramani is probably going to be the fastest on their team. But let's go ahead and give it a shot. If the Shiramani is too fast, then we probably lose. But let's filter by rank here. So our Skull Crown is going to be our lead. Then we are going to have our Seeker come in. And then we want our Catacomb Counselor, and finally Senesha. So the cool thing about Skull Crown and Senesha is that Skull Crown will hit twice if they're still over 50% health after the first attack, and Senesha will hit twice if they are under 50% during her attacks. So they have really good synergy there. Obviously this is a bit of a tanky team, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. So we're going to come in here, and theoretically it should work on auto, so I'm just going to go ahead and test that. So we go first. Catacomb Counselor should come in with the ally attack. Boom, and we just absolutely nuke most of them. We also did get a provoke on the Valkyrie, which is very good. And that is it. Alright, so it is working pretty well. Like I said, we're going to have to choose our battles though, which is really unfortunate because Gold 4 nowadays is just full of arbiters. I mean, look at these teams we're up against, although we are fairly high considering. So this is going to be a good team for speed farming medals if we stay in the lower range of Gold 4. So we might want to set like a weak defense in order to make sure that we're getting dropped a little bit. But let's go ahead. Something like this should be pretty easy for us to just absolutely bowl through. So we can just throw it on auto. The Apothecary is actually faster, but we managed to cut in, and then we just kind of do our thing here. They didn't actually die, which is not good for us. We do get a counterattack off of the Skull Crown though, and we're still going to win it. Just have to wait for that unkillable to wear off. So obviously this still has a lot of room to improve. The Senesha can definitely get a little better. We don't want to challenge that or that. This is pretty rough. Let's see. Let's go ahead and give this one a shot here. Like I said, we are in the higher areas though. So if we kind of do the strategy of leaving a one-person defense, so we stay pretty low in Gold 4, then we'll have a lot easier opponents to go up against during this time. Let's see, we get a counterattack there. Senesha comes in, does her thing. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty strong even with the lack of gear that we have currently. So I have a lot of hope as far as what we can do in the future with it. The fears are really hurting us here. See if we can finish her though. Come on, just one more good hit. The shield is really killing us. Get the weak in, there we go. Alright, so they go down. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like I said, there's a lot of room for improvement, but as long as we don't try for platinum or anything like that, keep pretty low in the arena, we're going to be able to speed farm medals, and that's basically what he said he wanted to do. He really needs medals for his Great Hall, so as long as we can just come in and do stuff like this, he can just throw it on auto and absolutely just wreck people down in the lower areas. And then as he gets better gear and the Seeker comes up to more like the 290 range of speed, and the Catacomb Counselor comes up to like the 240 or whatever he needs to be at, 220, we should be able to just farm medals absolutely fine. So good stuff here. We're going to go ahead and move on to the clan boss team next. So let's just watch here. Don't quite nuke this Arbiter, but we get back around and do it. So yeah, that's going to be pretty good for the time being. And actually I want to try this first. The Siphi is obviously going to be faster than us, so that should be interesting just to see how it goes. She comes in, does her increased defense. We get decreased attack on us. So I imagine this isn't going to go too well particularly, but I'm just interested to see how much damage we can actually do. She's going to go ahead and revive, and then Senesha says sit down. So Saris is actually pretty rough for us. Obviously Siphi's going to be rough. She's just a tough champion to deal with in general. Actually, Catacomb Counselor seemed like he was doing some pretty decent damage there, so I'd be interested to see if we got his build looking better, what he could actually do. But yeah, this is going to be a loss. which is fine. That's pretty much what we were expecting. Alright, so let's go ahead and back out here. But yeah, that's what we're going to do for the time being. That's going to be a very easy arena team to run. And if we just set our defense lower, I'm going to let him know to do that because I don't want to like drop out of gold 4 because I didn't let him know. But we should be looking pretty good there. Alright, so now on to the clan boss. So let's see, what were the champions he's running again? It was Septimus, Mausoleum Mage, Tyrant, Stag, and Nethril here. So let's see, I'm not sure how much we're going to be able to push this forward simply because we're going to have to use Stag and Septimus, which is not going to be great for us. Also, I just used all the best speed gear on the, what's his name? Seeker. So I don't know, we're just going to go ahead and give it a shot here, and then I will come back in and show you what we got. Alrighty, so we are done with the re-gearing here. Honestly, I'm not sure how it's going to go because, like I said before, we don't really have the champions leveled that I would like to use for it. So tips going forward, we need to get Frozen Banshee in here in place of Juliana, who I will be running today. Also, we need to get the Tyrell in the vault up and running. He is going to replace our Stag Knight. So those are going to be two big replacements right there. We're bringing Apothecary in instead of Mausoleum Mage. Tyrant is going to remain the same. He's perfectly good there. And then down the line, we could probably replace, once we get the Tyrell in there, we could replace the Septimus with Rosin. That would probably be the best choice. Another option would be Catacomb Counselor. He is pretty good in there as well. But I'd probably go with Rosin. So as far as Septimus's build goes, I actually didn't mess with it at all. He uses him in the Spider Dungeon, and I really don't want to mess his runs up there. So we're just going to go ahead and leave him as he is for the time being, especially since I don't see him as a long-term member of the clan boss team. I went ahead and stripped down Nethril a little bit, so he is not built for clan boss. Because we will be bringing in Julie instead, since she works a little bit better on auto. Then we have Tyrant Ixlymore here. I did mess with his build a little bit when I was doing the arena builds, but honestly, he's pretty much the same. Let's check out his stats here real quick. He is at 3600 defense, 188 speed, 87% crit, 190% crit damage, 201 accuracy. So he's looking pretty good for the Nightmare Clan boss. I would like to see some more defense on him, more like above the 4000 range going forward into Ultra Nightmare. But for the time being, he's looking alright. Our Juliana here, we have gotten her into lifesteal gear, and so she is at 30k HP, only about 2500 defense, which is really low. Basically the reason I had to do that is because with her you really want her to crit, so she's in crit rate gloves at 92% crit rate, 106% crit damage, 233 accuracy. That defense can definitely come up though if we can roll these up down the line. Didn't want to use up all the silver because, like I said, he's got two more champs he's going to need to bring up, so we're going to want to be able to gear them when he does. Stag Knight here, we've got him now in lifesteal as well. So he is at 43k HP, 3349 defense. Again, that can come up with the ring and the necklace being rolled up as well. He is at 192 speed, 42% crit rate, 108 crit damage, and 187 accuracy. That accuracy is actually probably a little bit low, not too bad for Nightmare though. So we should be looking all right there. And then finally our Apothecary is going to be coming in here. So he wasn't built at all, but we've gone ahead and we've gotten him to about 30k HP, 3560 defense. That can come up with these with all the jewelry being rolled up as well. So I think he'll be hitting about the 4k mark on defense. 238 speed's probably fine for Nightmare. We'd want to hit more like 260 for Ultra Nightmare. But honestly, with Apothecary, as fast as you can get him is as fast as you want to get him. And the rest doesn't really matter here. So let's go ahead and get into a run then and just test this out. So theoretically, this should be completely auto-friendly. We are on a Spirit Affinity, so not too bad for us. And let's just go ahead and get in here. Now Septimus is coming in as our lead. We don't want that. I think Tyrant can do it. HP all battles, yes, that's what we're going to want as our lead. And then we can go ahead and get Septimus in here. We can get you out and Apothecary in, and then you out and Julie in. Alrighty, so this is going to be our first attempt here. Let's just go ahead and get in, and we're just going to run it on auto and see how it goes. So we're going to speed up, get our decreased defense and decreased attack out. We got some extensions from Septimus there, so looking good. That's going to allow us to keep that decreased attack up until we can get it back around with our Stagnite. So that is why Septimus does need to be in here, because Stagnite can't really do it alone. But on the other hand, Septimus isn't necessarily built for this at the moment, and honestly, he's just not the best extender out there. Even Bulwark does a better job than him, so keep that in mind. But I'm just going to go ahead and let this run through, and we'll just see what kind of damage we do. Alrighty, so our Apothecary has gone down. I think that is signaling that we are getting pretty close to the end of the run here. Basically, the only reason he went down, though, is because he healed Septimus instead of himself, so I think that's going to be an issue here, is Septimus just taking a bunch of damage and then Apothecary healing him instead. But as you can see, we are well into 3 key territory, so even against a worse affinity, I think we should be doing just fine. Once we get that Tayrel and the Frozen Banshee in here into these 2 places, then we will be looking really good. And if we get Rosin in there as well, I think this team is an easy 2 key. But that's definitely moving up from where we were. I think he's going to be able to consistently 3 key it now across all of the different affinities. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. There's still room to improve as well on the gear, rolling it up and such. I'm just going to take a quick look at dungeons before we head out, just see kind of what he has on farm here. He's got 20 going on Golem, Dragon, Fire Knight, and I already know he's got it on Spider. So we're looking really good here. Let's check out the Great Hall. So honestly, not looking bad on the Great Hall either. He said that he just wants a easier metal farm, and so he should be able to do that with the team that we've got going right now. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, and we will just go ahead and call it there. So if you are interested in getting a rework like this done for your account, make sure to contact me on Discord. Just hit me up, let me know, and basically what we need is you need to have at least 10 million silver for me to work with, as well as a list of objectives you want to get through. So like today he told me top priority is arena, then look at clan boss with whatever you got left, and that's what we did. And yeah, so also if you have any sort of questions, need any advice, hit me up on Discord or in the comments down below. I'm always happy to help you guys out. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching.